この度も日暮らしの泣く頃に睡たたり殺しを最後までお楽しみいただき誠にありがとうございました。
Alright, well, thank you as well for another entertaining chapter and all that. A little too real there, Ryukishi. A little too real. Which, you know, in retrospect, I'm probably not the only one who has thought of this particular chapter. Because, you know, the first chapter, it has been an introductory chapter featuring demons and all that stuff, like mistrust in friends and all that, which is a common thing for all chapters at this point. The second chapter, it was about the Sonozaki sisters and, you know, the bad beef between the sisters to the point where Keiichi would end up dead because of them. And, you know, like, all that stuff about the doll, you know. Chapter 3, however? Abuse. Like, a child being abused. And all that. It's quite something. And we know that Ryukishi was a social worker, so this was another case of Ryukishi just flexing his knowledge about the topic and all that, which I've seen it in Mineko, and, well, we have seen it in full display, like, right here. And, you know, here's an interesting observation that I believe I've made. Yeah, I made this like a week ago or something like that. Cause, you know, in Mineko, we have Maria and we have Angie. Maria, she was also like abused by her mother. Like because of the family situation, because Rosa was so stressed out because of her family, because of like the financial situation, because her husband has also fucking disappeared. But, you know, at the same time, there had been moments where Rosa tried to, like, be a mother there. Like, she was nowhere near as bad as what Teppei did to Satoko and all that. Like, we were talking about a mother who was, like, a lot of times at her limit, with possibly some bipolar disorder for Rosa as well. It kind of depends. I still have to debate on that one. So there's that. We also have Angie, who had to suffer like a lot, like after the death of her family and having to remain like alone for a long time, like years and years and all that. So yeah, you have Maria and Angie. Satoko, she's both of them combined, if you are to think about it, which is really, really interesting. Like, would you say that Satoko has it even worse than Maria and Angie? Well, I guess one could say that, but at the same time, I don't want to quantify the damage that a person is making, because to them, it meant a lot and they have suffered a lot. So, can you quantify the amount of pain that a person can go through? Not really, which I don't want to make this comparison lightly about them, but at the same time, Satoko had it rough.
これまでのシナリオとは少し違う雰囲気でお送りしましたが、いかがだったでしょうか。お楽しみいただけたなら幸いです。
今回も胸のすくようなバッドエンドだったわね。私個人としては大災害が実際に起こった時の惨劇の描写も欲しかったところだけど、みんなの感想も同じかしら？
Oh, I'm sure you will love that.
そんなわけありませんでしたよ。またしても。
Yeah. My baby. It just suck you a little bit right over here. Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. I'm gonna do this. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I have my pillow right over here. I have a pillow, like, I'm hugging it right now. A little bit bigger than I wanted it. I'm being squished right over here while keeping my microphone close right over here, but let me just hug the pillow a little bit, thinking that it's Satoko. Oh, baby. Alright. That was enough hug right over there. Oh, Satoko.
またしても大大大バッドエンド
Oh my god. Oh my god, okay, like I'm not crying right now, but I do sense like the upper part of my eye, like my eyes like under the whatchamacallit in English? Not pupil, but like the inside of my eye, I don't know what it's called. Like a little bit warmer, which is a sign of almost tearing up and all that.
あれれバッドエンドって割にはみーちゃんは楽しそうだね。
Yeah, like what the fuck, Mion? What is that all about?
っていうかもう笑うしかないってのが本音でしょうね。
なははは。毎回嫌な割り方がエスカレートすると思ったら、とうとうここまで行き着いちゃったわけですからね。
Oh, now that you think about it, yeah. We reached a point where the entire village is dead. Because of volcanic gas. Quote-unquote volcanic gas, I guess. But yeah. Right now I'm working on an investigation video for February. Bottom line, I guess I'm gonna try my best to keep my thoughts to myself. I'm gonna keep them for the investigation video, but I'm also gonna talk through this stuff as well in this section right over here. I have my thoughts.
みんな仲良しで死んじゃったのですよ。
I'm also gonna give like Rika right over here a hug because she died too. And no doubt like the next chapter is gonna be all about her. A really short chapter next time, I've noticed, like given the amount of words, but let me hug Satoko. Oh baby. Alright.
仲良しなのです。ニパ
そういう見方もあるのかな。毎回死んでる僕はもうごめんだな。
Yeah, same.
たまには死なずにエンドを迎えたいね。
富武さんって時報みたいな役割なんですよね。富武さんが死んだら、あ、後半戦突入だ。
Basically.
みたいな。さて、ではここで今回の会合に改めてご参加いただく皆さんです。拍手でお迎えください。まずは監督こと入江京介さん。
Hey, now we have Irie in the all cast review.
ご紹介に預かりまして光栄です。どうもどうも。
Okay, so here's the thing about Irie. Like I do have to ask, what is your role in this? Like, no doubt you are connected to Satoko and, like, more than likely Satoshi and all that, because of the whole baseball kind of thing. But is there more to it? because we talked with Iri a lot in the first, like, half of the story. And then afterwards, we had the whole thing at the hospital, at the clinic, of us confessing to Iri, of all people, about the murder and all that. Like, what is Iri's purpose in this? Like, what is he hiding specifically? And he also died, and like, he cares a lot about Satoko and more than likely Satoshi, so it kind of makes me think, like, what is the thing going on right over here? Because, well, he died too. Somebody went after him, for sure. Which I'm thinking that it's Takano, but again, I'm gonna talk about that in the investigation video. In which case, what would be the purpose? Because I'm thinking, I have my crazy ideas about the organization, the government, and all that experimenting and such that I have from Investigation 1. And I'm thinking that he's part of it too. I mean, he's a doctor. He kind of, like, I have my eyes on doctors a little bit right over here, especially because of the diseases and such, so... Is he part of this whole thing? What does he know?
脇役だったわけですが、トータルで見てみるとかなり美味しい役だったなぁなんて思ってます。
本当ですわね。脇役にしては出番もセリフも多すぎで、しかもキャラが強すぎましたよ。
Right?
今後どれだけ出番があるかはわかりませんが、その説は応援よろしくお願いしますね。
ありがとうございました。では次に我らが担任、知恵ルミ子先生。
Hey, she is here as well. Was she in the No, I don't think she was in the other cast reviews.
皆さんどうもこんにちは。いろいろと登場シーンもあったのですが、今回カレー勝負で目立つシーンをいただきまして。
The Curry Showdown? Wasn't it... Are you talking about that moment when the losers went to your office and they told how much you stink and all that? That's your memory? Because you would think that it is that moment when we went to your office to talk about Satoko's situation that you should call, like, the agency and such. That would be more memorable in my eyes.
カレーをバカにする人は許せません。ええ。
Like, that is more memorable to me when it comes to moments with Chie.
誰もバカになんてしていませんよ。あ、千恵先生に席を空けてあげてください。
さて、これでとりあえず全員揃ったね。レナ、また乾杯をよろしくね。では
皆さん、各卓のコップをお持ちになってください。
はい。
お飲み物はいろいろありますよ。
本当にお疲れ様会も賑やかになりましたね。今何人ぐらいいるんです？
私たちを加えて多分10人くらいはいると思います。
未成年人と成年人の人数比がこれでやっと互角かな。これで胸を張ってアルコールが飲めるね。
ビールってなんで冷えてるとあんなに美味しいのに、ぬるくなるとあんなにまずくなるのかしら。七不思議の一つよね。
なんででしょうね。
さあビールを継ぎますよ。12345あれ、大人は6人でしたっけ？
僕も泡麦茶がいいのです。リカちゃんもお酒はダメ。
ではレナさん、そろそろお願いします。
はいはい。皆さんご清聴ですわよ。では皆さん、日暮らしの泣く頃に水たたり乾杯。
せーの。
乾杯。
乾杯。
Yay! We needed this. We needed this for sure. Alright.
さて、では毎回恒例の今回のシナリオ議論でもやってみますかね。
とは言ったものの、今回のシナリオもケムに巻かれっぱなし。意見のある方は挙手をお願いしますね。
お、みんな慎重。挙手ないね。
じゃあ私が先陣を切ろうかしら。申し訳ないんだけど、音楽を変えてもらってもいいかしら。もう少しミステリアスな感じの。ああ、これがいいわね。
Alright.
ムードが出まくりなのです。では高野さん、お願いします。
多分ね、たたり殺しのシナリオだけを吟味しても謎は解けないんじゃないかと思うの。
そりゃ同感だね。ここまで物語が重なれば、そういう仕掛けがあることは明白だしね。
そんな仕掛けありましたかしら。
これが正しい例かはわからないけど、鬼隠しで前原くんが大石さんとレストランで食事をして、それが園崎さんに知られていて不思議だったってくだりがありますよね。鬼隠しだけだと実に不思議な出来事ですけど、綿流しを読めば別に不思議でも何でもないことがわかります。
劇中の私が入ったレストランは園崎系列の店だったということですね。
Yeah.
園崎一族はこの辺りの飲食店やら何やらを経営しているわけですから。
で、ケイちゃんの顔を知る者があの店にいて、それを私に伝えたと考えれば比較的筋は通るでしょ。
Oh, I made that connection a long time ago, bitch.
そういうことだね。
日暮の物語は微細に異なる場所もありますけど、大筋の設定においては多分4つのシナリオは共通していると思います。例えばキャラクター設定。
鬼隠しのレナは怖い人だけど、それは鬼隠しだけの設定ということじゃなくて、レナはレナで4つのシナリオに全く変わらない設定で出演しているということですね。
全く変わらない設定というのは同感。僕がどのシナリオでも常に同じ場所で同じ死に方をするのはその最たるものだね。
Well, I can actually agree with that. Like, at surface level, like, all characters are basically the same in every story. It's just that it's interesting that Mion has been a little bit different in chapter 3. In the sense that she wasn't as demonic, well, say for that moment when, like, after the Watanagashi, when we killed Teppei and, you know, every girl was acting like suspicious to the point where Rena and Mion would grab Keiichi and try to bring him to the treasure hunt place, and they were all acting a little bit spooky. But other than that, Mion has been very calm and understanding of the situation. Whereas Rena she was a little bit more aggressive in this, that's for sure. And I get the feeling that it's because of the subject of Satoshi and Satoko specifically. Whereas in chapter 2, it was the polar opposite. Like, Rena was totally in control of things and when it comes to investigating Mion, whereas Mion and, you know, Shion have their own episode and such, so...
どんな物語になっても必ず同じ日に死にますですよ。
It's almost as if, like, in the first chapter, Mion and Rena, they were, like, balanced. In the next chapter, Rena was up while Mion was down. And in chapter 3, it was opposite. It's like they're on a scale of some sorts, in a ways that I'm not really realizing. Like, I'm not really understanding the connection. Like, in similar fashion to how you kind of view Reika and Satoko, like, part of a duo and such, because they're best friends and, you know, a lot of other stuff, because of Yumineko as well. So, like, Rena and Mion, they're kind of on that same thing. Like, same kind of duo in ways that I cannot really explain it.
綿流し編でお祭りの最中に高野さんと富武さんが西宮殿に忍び込むというシーンがありますけど、あのシーンも他のシナリオでは描かれなかっただけで起こったことになっているのかもしれませんね。
Huh. Actually, you know what? You bring up a good point there, Chie. Maybe they did the same thing in the first chapter? And we never really knew about it because we were never told about the ritual storehouse in the first chapter. Because why would we? Wait, did it happen in chapter 3 as well? We never really had the ritual storehouse as the main focus in chapter 3. Except for when Satoko was talking about it, like, at the end. When she snuck up inside the storehouse, like, years ago. Which, I'm deducing that that's what happened in chapter 2 as well. That Satoko was the one who was making those random noises during that scene in chapter 2. Like, when we were with Takano and Tomitaki inside.
なっているそうです。綿流し当日のお天気や部活の内容、聡子のおじさんの帰宅など、いくつかのイベントを除けばほとんどが共通するそうです。
だとすると、新しい疑問がいくつか湧きますね。全く同じ環境で語られる物語なのに、なぜああも違う物語に派生するのか。
Oh, like interesting questions what do we hear when it comes to the story. But yeah, I guess, well, obviously Higurashi is not gonna tell the exact same events like every single chapter, otherwise it will be boring at this point to go through the same thing. Well, I'm not gonna say boring because, well, here you have, for example, Zero Escape. In Zero Escape, you have like branching paths where the same beginnings are always gonna happen. It's just that you do different things at some points where will lead to completely separate endings. Here, like the chapters, they are completely different from the beginning, and they're completely different at the end, but there are gonna be some common elements that are always gonna happen no matter what. Which, not only is it good for spicing up the story each chapter, that we don't have to go through the same events, but at the same time we do end up going through some similar events. Like some events will happen that will be very important to the main beef of Higurashi, which would be like Tomitake's death and Takano's disappearance, and I guess in this case like the ritual storehouse, like sneaking into it. I guess that's also a common thing that's happening.
一般的なサスペンスアドベンチャーの視点で考えると、物語が派生する分岐点が存在したってことになりますね。
Yes.
綿流しで言うと、お姉に人形を渡した、あるいは渡さなかったというあたり？あんな序盤の選択肢1個でバッド確定とは、恐ろしい選択肢だね。
I mean, yeah, that is a choice. I mean, like even the club activities are different. And we cannot even pinpoint how these club activities are even chosen to begin with because, I don't know. For example, could you say that the first chapter, we had that same scene with the doll, except that in first chapter, Keiichi did give the doll to Mion. It's just that we never really seen it happen. Maybe it happened in chapter 3 as well. In chapter 3, we gave Mion the doll, and chapter 2 was the only exception. We don't know, and I don't think that's really important.
では、たたり殺しに話を戻しますと、この場合ですと、おじを殺そうと決意するあたりですかしら。
私はずっとそれ以前、同居人の女性がトラブルで失踪して、おじがHinamizawaに帰ってくることになったあたりから、もう分岐しちゃってると思うわね。
Yeah, basically. That's what kickstarts the uncle going back to Hinamizawa. Otherwise, in the first chapters, like 1 and 2, those are like timelines when this cohabitant didn't disappear.
では、一番最初の鬼隠しの分岐はどこなのですか？
In Onikakushi? In the first chapter? I don't know. I mean, it was the first chapter.
やはり劇中の私が登場してお社様のたたりに関する連続開始事件のことを話すあたりからだと思いますね。
I guess. Like, well, I mean, the thing is, let's go with the example that they offered before about chapter 3. If Teppei's lover did not die, then basically, I guess you could say that we would have like another Onikakushi chapter, in which case, you, Oishi, would end up doing the exact same thing, so... So, if I'm to think about it, if the lover died, and if Oishi did not come to talk about Seer Freak deaths, then we would have like another separate chapter, like a completely different chapter. Where Tomitake and Takano's... like, Tomitake's death and Takano's disappearance would still happen. The, like, sneaking inside the ritual storehouse would still happen. It is interesting to think about this.
今思ったんですけれど、ちゃんと圭一さんがミオンさんの気持ちを理解して、それで大石さんも私のおじさんも現れなかったら、何も起こらずに平和に過ごせるってことなんじゃありませんの？
That's actually what I had in mind while I was talking about Oishi right over here. Like, in the first chapter, you give the doll, like, Teppei's lover did not die, Oishi would not come to the village. What would happen then? Tomitake would die, Takano would disappear, someone would sneak inside the storehouse, and then what? I guess it kind of depends if Keiichi would be interested in their disappearances in the first place. Because Oishi is the one who brings a lot of information to... well, not really. It was also Tomitake who... no, it was Tomitake who started like the whole putting like information into Keiichi about the murders of previous years. It wasn't necessarily Oishi. Like, Tomitake is the one who started it, to be quite honest. In the first chapter, at least.
へえ。
It's just that Oishi is the one who accentuated it a lot.
さとこにしちゃ本質ズバリじゃないのよ。確かに言えてる。
じゃあ、この暗い物語は、大石さんとおじさんが現れないことを祈りつつ、園崎さんのご機嫌を損ねないようにすれば、みんな幸せになれるということなのかしら？
I don't think that you can escape from that one, Takano. I still have my eyes on you.
イエーイ、おねえバッドエンド要因。
Because I am thinking that you, Takano, and Tomitake are having some plans that are still have yet to be revealed. Like, your events are a common thing. They happen for a reason.
みんな気をつけてね。お姉の機嫌を損ねるとバッドエンド確定ですよ。何よそれ。シオン、あんたには次は容赦なく痛い目見させてやるからね。泣いた謝ったって許してやるもんか。待てこら。
Okay.
これまでの物語の謎は全然解けないけど、どうやったらこの物語が大団円で終わるかのグッドエンドの推理はできちゃいましたね。
I guess.
本当にそれで幸せになれるんでしょうか。大石さんと北条哲平さんの不登場、ミヨンさんのお人形の件、本当にそれさえ気をつければいいんですかね。
そうそう。みんなは一つ大きな最後を忘れてるよ。Hinamizawa大災害という天災を忘れたかい？
天才は防ぎようがないですわよ。
I mean, that's a whole different topic for the investigation video, but yeah, bottom line, we know that this disaster happened in chapter 3, and yet it did not happen in the previous chapters, which means that, okay, yeah, you know what, if we're talking about a natural disaster, like I was gonna say, like, natural disasters should happen, like, no matter what, in each chapter. But then I'm reminded that even the weather changed, even during Watanagashi. So I don't know, even natural disasters can happen all willy-nilly in these chapters. So from a story perspective, you could say that. But okay, let's say that you cannot prevent natural disasters, as Satoko was saying right over here. That would mean that whatever happened, like this great disaster, it was indeed done by somebody. And that's exactly where I'm gonna go with from now on. Like, it was started by something. It wasn't as if the volcano just decided to erupt like one day and that's it. No. It was started by something. Somebody did something in order for the disaster to happen. Whether it is the volcano or something else. Yeah. So, the question is, what kickstarted the disaster in chapter 3? And how come it did not happen in the first 2 chapters? And, you know, all that stuff. And I guess I could talk about at least this. Because obviously we had that tip about Rika at the end of chapter 3 that told us what would happen if Rika, like the 8th generation of the Furude, would die. Who is supposedly, like, since we're talking about the 8th generation girl, that would mean that they would be Oyashiro. If she dies, what would happen? Would the end of the world happen? And that would kickstart the whole thing, because Rika died and therefore the disaster happened. But then how come that did not happen in chapter 2? That is something that I'm gonna have to think about, because yeah, Rika disappeared and it was confirmed that she died. So it is interesting. What the fuck?
村のみんなにガスマスクを配って引っ越しでもしますの？あれはきっとお社様のたたりなのです。だからお社様を怒らせないようにしなければならないのですよ。
なははは。ややこしい話になってきましたね。つまりお社様も怒らせてはダメと。お社様を怒らせないためにはどうすればいいのでしたっけ？
ダムの計画そのものがきっとダメなんでしょうね。ダム計画がそもそもなければよかったんじゃないでしょうか。
I don't think that we could change that.
それは難しいわよね。だとしたらお怒りになったお社様を鎮める儀式が必要ね。
鬼ヶ淵の沼に捧げ物を沈めるあの儀式ですね。
捧げ物って何をお社様に捧げるって言うんですか？
そりゃあ決まってるでしょう。どんな分岐にも関係なく話の流れから脱落が確定している人だよ。どうせ死ぬならHinamizawaのための人柱になってもらわなくちゃね。
その脱落が確定している人ってやっぱり僕のことかな。
Yeah, well, who else?
やっぱり二郎さんはこの物語に欠かせない重要な役割の人だと信じてたわ。
I mean, you know, me personally, I would offer to have Takano be the one to sacrifice. Cause maybe we're gonna have like a completely separate ending for that one. Just saying. Like instead of Tomitake, we would offer Takano as a sacrifice. See what happens then.
お役目を立派に果たしてちょうだいね。
これで今度こそグッドエンドの大団円シナリオの青写真ができましたね。
Wait, hold on a second. We are joking right over here, but let's not sacrifice people, please.
せっかくだからちょっとやってみましょうか。役者は全員揃ってることですしね。
First, we stop Uncle Hojo, whose lover ran out on him, from returning to Hinamizawa.
いやー、私が北条おじですよ。
Okay. He has no portrait, so I'm standing in.
はいはーい。行き場をなくしてロンリーブルー。早くHinamizawaに帰って聡子ちゃんをお持ち帰りしてじっくり教育。未来はご奉仕メイドですよ。
Please don't joke about that stuff.
ではHinamizawaにバイクで帰りますか。キーを入れてカチッと。
Put in the key and click. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, we have the motorbike like here with us in the old cast review as well. He's gonna help us.
カチッ。
Kaboom! Oh no! The motorbike is dead.
成敗！怪人に着せでございますわよ。
Yay! Happy ending for Sataka.
さとこちゃん、火薬の量多すぎじゃないかな。
Nah, fuck it. I hope coach is alright. Sweat. Next, we stop Oishi from showing up.
今度は私ですか。私の名前はクラウド大石。ジャジーでブルースな感じがだいぶイケてるナイスミドルですよ。
You got that right, sir. Kaboom!
成敗なのです。
そして忘れちゃいけないのがお姉へのアフターフォロー。ささお姉、可愛らしいお人形さんですよ。よかったでちゅね。
なんだか納得いかない。
Hey, hold on a second. Keiichi is supposed to be the one to give it to Mion.
で、最後にお社様の怒りを鎮めなくちゃならないと。
では最後のお役目よろしくね。
踏んじばってすまきにして吊るして3日かけて沈めるんでしたっけ。
面倒くさいですからここは一気に行っちゃいましょう。
Meanwhile, I'm just gonna secretly go behind Takano, and when the time comes, I'm just gonna push her in the swamp as well.
ガボガボガボガボガボ
これにて一件落着。
Yay! The end.
突然レナの腕が光ってうなって大変なことに。獅子類類で大変なことになってますのです。 あれ
Oh, and here comes our special call from the main star, Keiichi Maebara.
電話だ。もしもし。あ、ケイチくんお疲れ様です。
おうおう、相変わらず大盛り上がりみたいじゃねえか。こっちは次回の台本読みで相変わらず忙しいってのに。
Yeah, just like always.
まあいいや、今日の俺は機嫌がいいから嫌味はなしにしてやるぜ。シオンはいるか？もう行っちまってもいいんじゃないか？あれ。
Shion?
あれ、今ここで発表しちゃうんですか？とはいえ、もうすでに分かってる人たちもいるでしょうけど、まあいいか。
シオンさんとケイチさんの二人っきりの秘密ですって？何よそれ！聞いてない
Okay, Kei-chan. Let's say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. The main character of the next story will be Shion Sonozaki? What?
まあつまりはそういうことです。初登場以来ダントツの人気ナンバーワン。姉妹キャラでも遅れ登場した片割れの方が絶対に人気が出るってのはギャルゲー全盛時代から決められたお約束ですし。
Oh, really? Was it the case of Shion being really popular when these first episodes were released? Okay. But damn! We're gonna get the Shion's perspective in chapter 4? Huh. Calling me surprised. Because I was thinking, okay, we have the 4 question arc episodes. And we're gonna have like the 4 answer arcs episodes and such. First, we had the first chapter was mostly focused on Rena. The second chapter was Mion and Shion. Third chapter was Satoko, and I was thinking that more than likely we're gonna focus on the Rika in the 4th chapter. But I didn't, which could still happen. But I didn't think that we're gonna change perspectives in the 4th chapter. I thought that we're still gonna have like, we're still gonna go with Keiichi. At best, I was thinking that we're gonna change perspectives maybe in the answer arcs, but no. That is quite surprising, actually.
わけわかんねえことはどうでもいいよ。とにかく俺はそのシナリオでは主人公のお役ごめん。
I guess that's a nice change of pace. I'm gonna be with Shion.
風の噂じゃ俺のボイスを超えてるとか。てっへん。俺の苦労を少しは思い知れ。
Oh, wow, that's a good point. Yeah, because if we are to go from Shion's perspective, we're gonna meet Keiichi and we're gonna be able to see him. Finally, you evolved from stick figure.
まあケイちゃんのボイス数は異常ですから、他のシナリオに入れるようになればすぐに逆転されるでしょうけど、まあ園崎姉妹の実力ってやつをとくと皆さんにお見せして差し上げますよ。
でもいいんですの、シオンさん。主人公は毎回ろくでもない最後を迎えると決まってましたよ。
まあこれまではね。でもね、次回からは必ずしもそうはならないんですよね。
日暮の泣く頃に水も今回のたたり殺しと外伝の染め写しで一区切り。ミステリアスな謎を次々と提示してきた出題編はここで折り返しになり、次の章からはこれまでの謎に挑み、そしてさらなるドラマの幕開けとなります。
Investigation arc, temporary name.
つまり私が名探偵になって理不尽な謎をバスバス解決していく痛快ストーリーなわけです。
Really? So Shion is gonna be the detective type? And not Keiichi? Alright. Like, if that's true, then I'm not opposed to that.
今のうちから決め台詞を考えておかないとね。
I mean, Shion does seem like a pretty smart girl too, so yeah.
あなたを犯人ですみたいな。 御三家の秘密に近づきすぎて閉じ込められていたぶられて、悲惨な最後を遂げる役に決まってる。お姉こそ私に全ての謎と秘密をカンパされて謝罪の言葉を口にしながら自害なされる心の準備は OK です。
お社様のたたりの可能性はなしなのですか？さて、そのしーちゃんが主役の目明かしに進むためには新しい警察資料が必要です。はじめからを選んでゲームを開始すると主人公にシオンが追加されているので、それを選んで進めてください。鬼隠し、綿流し、そしてたたり殺し、この3つのシナリオを重ね透かして皆さんにはどんな真実が見えてくるでしょうか。推理はまとまるどころか、ますます煙に巻かれていくだけ。
Oh, wait, hold on a second. I'm a little confused right over here a little bit. The first half presented a lot of strange and exciting mysteries. To start next time, the mysteries will start to be solved in the second half, making the start of the investigation. Wait, so I do know that there are 8 chapters. So in similar fashion to Himineko, we have like the first parts, first 4 chapters, which I thought they were investigation, like a question arcs chapters, and then the other 4 would be like the answer arcs. But no, you're... Is it that they actually had in plan to have like 6 chapters? Like these first 3 were the question arc chapters, and then next time chapter 4 is gonna start answering some stuff. Does this mean that we're gonna have like 5 answer arc chapters? Is that it? Actually, hold on a second, let me check this. I think there was something on Discord, because I remember I asked you guys if I should do like the extra chapters alongside the main chapters, or should I do them like afterwards, and I've decided I'm gonna do like the main chapters first, and then I'm gonna do this stuff. But let me check something right over here. Where was it? Yeah, chapter 4, Himatsubushi, it's still part of the question arcs. And then there's Miyakashi, which I think that they said that here as well. Yeah, the new story to begin the second half, temporarily called Miyakashi, or Eye Openings, currently undergoing dōjin. Is there actually something going on over here where initially they had in plan to start Miyakashi next, but then they decided to add in like one extra small chapter called Himatsubushi, and then start the answer arcs with Miyakashi? I wonder if they actually... if that is actually the case. Interesting. I guess it kind of makes sense why the next chapter is a lot shorter. Maybe they really wanted to add like extra stuff in that case.
レナも全然わからないです。
For all of you warriors who never yielded to these 3 mysteries and kept on fighting, we present you with one final scenario as thanks for your enthusiasm. One which we never originally planned on giving to you. Ah, okay, so maybe I was right. Maybe it wasn't something that was originally planned when writing this script, but they added a little bit of something afterwards. Okay. Please enjoy it. Alrighty then.